Hi, everybody. So, I'm back after. I don't know, it's been a while. I don't know. Anyways, I'm back. So, yes, I did, scenery change. I did move out of Bahrain and I'm back in the US now. So, I think it's been a few weeks because, moving is a very crazy, not crazy, it's a very hectic endeavor. So, it's very difficult to find times in which I can film like this. And now I do have a moment or two, so now I can film. And I have my little cute bookshelf. There's a lot of stuff on my bookshelf. I promise I'll get it cleaned up. I have to get it cleaned up anyways. Uh, but right now, it's just I finally managed to kind of settle down a little, and you know, it's not. I calmed down a little, so now I can actually sit down and share what I made during the time that I'll travel. But when I was traveling, there was a lot of things going on. I don't know if it's just me, but I have this general theory of relativity. Not that, but I have a theory where I have a theory where I believe and I postulate. That's a pretty good word that anybody who is in higher education should probably know what postulate means, as well as sort of other words. By the way, I went to campus recently, and on campus I heard people talking, right? And there are so many filler words, and people say like, and it is the case where I too. Well, I actually have never had an issue with filler words past third grade because I, in essence, eliminated it. And after third grade, I had to go back to Japanese school because we moved countries. And then in Japanese school, you don't really speak English; you just speak Japanese. And while in Japanese school, uh, I didn't. My filler words never came back, and it's only after coming back to the general American society in which filler words are starting to try and invade my lexicon again, but I'm managing to keep them back. But if someone like me can keep, see how I just used the word like? That's a proper form of using like. It's like a simile. People should know what a simile is if you study the literature. But yeah, it's unfortunate that people use like every other word. They say like, I want to like, like, dislike, like. Stop it. Filler words are not sophisticated. It makes you appear unsophisticated and an extremely shallow person, which I'm pretty sure you're not, but it gives that impression. And if you want to give that impression, that's fine, but people are going, it's just not okay. So filler words, get rid of them. And if you can't get rid of them, if you can still speak in a coherent and concise manner, regardless of using filler words, then it'd be great, but most people can't, so that's unfortunate. But back to my theory, I have this ongoing theory where I believe traveling or airports or airplanes brings out either the best in people or the worst in people. So the reason for that is, well, first I'll show you guys what I made. So, and then we'll hop into kind of negative topics or topics of deliberation, I'll say. So while I was traveling, I wanted to make a doily that had the central circle, right, or central shape, and from that there's protruding little flower petals or spikes. And it took me a while to figure out exactly how to do that because usually when you crochet, you go in a circle, and going in a spike, you have to kind of connect to the stitches, and it's a little troublesome. So it took me a while. And by the way, my hair is really messy, but I'm gonna go get a haircut today, or maybe I'll just cut my hair myself. I've done it before, but it's really messy, and it's not even 10 a.m. right now, and I think I just woke up like an hour ago. So I tried combing it, and then I tried putting water in it, and it didn't really work, so it's fine. Maybe I'll put hair gel in it before, but if I put hair gel in it, it's going to be very difficult to cut it, so it's fine. But anyways, I wanted to figure out how to make a doily that has spikes, and eventually I managed to make this. And this is, again, all the doilies on this channel that I show, or any art piece really, that I show is my design. I don't like copying things. I do not appreciate people who take ideas from elsewhere. If I had a jewelry line, and let's just say, well, yeah, if I made a jewelry line, it'd be called Cetus AE, or maybe just Cetus, no, it'd be called Cetus AE, most likely. And let's just say there was another brand called, Athena A to Z. Athena A to Z. If I was collaborating with Athena A to Z, or I got an inspiration from Athena A to Z, I would reference that. I would say Cetus AE X feature or times what's that? Anyways, Cetus AE times Athena A to Z. I would literally do that. So if I ever showcase anything that's not mine, I will tell you. But this one is mine, and I'm rather proud of it. See? It's flower petals. And I'm wearing rings. That's new. Are you used to not wear rings? Oh. Hi. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hi, how are you? Oh, I missed you too. We just slept all night together, but that's okay. Want to see a friend? Who? Okay. You can hang out with me. You can hang out with me. Hang out with me. You're so cute. Anyways, I completely got blown away. Hi. You want to sit here? You can hang out with me. I'm happy to see you. Oh. Do you want to use this as a blanket? Okay. Okay. Here, sit here. Sit here. You're so cute. Ooh. I missed you too. You were gone for about 30 minutes and I missed you. Oh, you're very cute. Yeah, this is the side. I'm gonna try and finish up the video without being completely, wrecking balled by a cat. But I'm gonna hang out with my cat probably after I finish filming this video for a very long time. But this is the first size I made. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I made a variation and I made it smaller? So this is the smaller one that I made. This is the size normal, size smaller. Hi. Hi. Oh, I miss you too. Are you happy to see me too? I'm happy to see you. Oh. You're so cute. You cleaned your face? Oh, okay. I am very impressed with my cat, Mahu-chan. Ooh. Because my cat is able to keep his face clean. And I have seen grown adult people who have boogers in their eyes, and I look at them and I think, tissue paper. Even if you, let's just say you are lower income and you can't afford to get water, you can take your hand and you can wipe it. Or you can, most places have a public restroom, and most places have running water in that restroom. And even if you can't drink the water, you can at least use the water to wash your hands after you wipe the booger off your eyes, okay? So just keep your face clean. It's a good idea. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy all those face cleansing products, and I don't buy, just a disclaimer, there was this weird conversation I had to have with my brother, because he has a lot of, I don't want to give too many details because, privacy, and he discloses everything about me that he wants, but I'm not like that, so I'll just say he has a lot of issues with skin. So let's just say he has zits or acne. And I won't say how bad it is, but he has some, and I have some too, every now and then. But apparently I'm a little better off than him, and he thinks that I use skin products. I don't use skin products. All you have to do is just wash your face with water and warm, I use cold water, but just cold water a few times a day, it's fine. You'll be fine. You don't need skin products, okay? I remember one of my professors in my old institute, because I had to move, so I had to transfer campuses, but one of the professors in my old school said that all the cleansers and all the products that are marketed nowadays, they probably don't even help you to begin with, because they destroy the natural makeup of the bacteria of your skin. And I think, yeah, she said because it changes the composition of the bacteria on your skin that's supposed to be there naturally, it can actually cause it to get worse. So now, I'm not going to say don't bathe, but don't go to the extreme and pour chemicals on yourself with that intensity. Just don't, okay? Or first do some research and do what's best for you, okay? So aside from these two doilies, I am right now crocheting, like here's small, like, that one's okay. Well, no, it's not okay. So, see, it's already making its way into my lexicon. I have to work to keep it out. Here's small, here's medium, and I'm working on the biggest version. And once I'm done with that, which will probably be the next video, I will show you guys. But now I have to, because I promised I would, I have to talk about traveling woes. I don't like traveling to begin with, so but I've traveled quite a bit, and that's why I'm informed on why I don't like it, traveling. So it should have been rather apparent to me that it was going to be a horrible experience, partially, when traveling across the Atlantic Ocean. First you have to go leaving Bahrain, you go to Europe, and then you go from Europe across the Atlantic, and then you come to the US. That's the general path. Well, some exciting things happened. So there was actually one bad thing and one good thing that I saw mainly. So the good thing was I'll start with the bad one, because then it makes the good thing sound even better. So the bad thing was there was this, I don't know if I should say the word to describe the person, because I don't know if the word is like exactly YouTube friendly. Oh, hi. My Mahu-chan is sleeping here. It's okay, Mahu. So the bad thing happened where is this lady, because you're coming from outside the country, you have to do immigration processes or whatever, right? Even if you're an American citizen, you have to do some stuff. So we were doing that, my family and I, because it was just my family and traveling. And then we were in line, and first there was this one line, okay? And then I was near the end of the line, and they opened up a second line. So line A was original. There was only first line A. And then, I'm going to skip the letter B, because I don't like the letter B as much as I like the letter C. And I'll just use B this time, because I don't want to make C sound. I don't want to taint my favorite letter, C. So, I was in line with line A, and then they said, you know what, we're going to open up line B so we can facilitate the process. And everyone here has traveled for, 20 hours, and we just want to let everyone go, relax, get off their feet, get a square meal. And everyone appreciated that. So I was near the end of line A. So after line B opened up, I got out of line A and went to line B. And I was then near the front with my fan band. And all of a sudden, there was a lady in line A who was ahead of me. Okay? So if she was pretty near, maybe she was near the middle of line A from the customs, whatever. And she decided, no one asked her to do it, she decided to leave line A and come over to line B. And then she was behind myself and about a dozen other people. And then she decides she's better than everyone, and she kind of like weasels her way around, not in the line, because here's the line, right? And there's those ropes that you get. She kind of weasels her around like this and says, can anybody please let me go first, because I have a dog, and I can hear my dog crying. Like, excuse me? Do you think your dog gives you any credentials to cut in line? I called her the K word, because the K and ends with N in 5 letters. And it's just, and her husband too was like anyways, so I don't even want to speak on about her that much, but it just shocked me, because I have learned in grade school that cutting is wrong. It doesn't matter who you cut, or it doesn't matter if you cut with your friend. Cutting is wrong, okay? And it turns out it doesn't matter if you have a dog or not. I was traveling with my 2 cats, okay, to get to the US. And I'll tell you right now, traveling with pets is really stressful. And I'm not going to say that I don't want to travel with pets, because I really appreciate my cats. And I would never think about abandoning them. And I would never abandon them. If I had to sell all my jewelry to keep my cats, I would sell the jewelry, keep the cat, and my bags. Because I haven't sold my bags yet. But point is, I really like my cats. And, I understand that you might like your dog. But just because you have a dog, and you can hear your dog whining, that doesn't mean you can run off and get it. Because it turns out, when the moment she said, I can hear my dogs whining, I almost thought about saying, I have cats. I can't even hear them. I have no clue if they're alive because there's no indication of that based on the current evidence. And you're going to tell me that you have priority? Not to mention, the K happened to be a certain characteristic, and all the people she were cutting, including me, happened to not have that characteristic. And if a person of a certain political leaning had decided to film the whole entire ordeal and post a certain type of phrase to the ordeal, and the right type of crowd on the T with the M found this entire situation, she would be eliminated, and along with her whole family, including the kids, like teenage kids that are traveling with her, would not be able to find any safe haven in this current United States, like the environment, because that's just how people. I would never film her and accuse her of that, but it gave the impression that it was, okay. Very convoluted what I had to say, but the people who get it, you will get it, okay. Don't worry. That was a cat fur. Oh no, it's not. It's just dust. So that was the bad thing. But the good thing is a different lady, and she was an actually phenomenal mother, because during the flight, children, when they travel in an airplane, some children really enjoy it, and some children are fine with it. When I was younger, I didn't really have that many issues. I usually just got on the airplane, sat down, and watched a movie, and watching like 5 movies, no, don't use a like that. Watching 5 movies or so allowed me to just, buzz through the entire flight, and it was just, nothing happened of notable entry into a journal. Nothing happened like that, or of that type. But this other family, and there's nothing wrong with it. The daughter, I think, had airplane sickness, and she threw up about 3-4 times, and there's nothing wrong with that. Children, they're not used to it, okay? Adults, if they throw up, you would think, okay, maybe you should have stayed home. But children don't have the capacity. Plus, if they're moving and they have to be somewhere to, say, get a moving truck, or they have to get to a new job, or the parents have to get to a new job, or something like that, then it can't really be helped. And this was the case. The family was moving. They couldn't really help it. But the mother, I think the father happened to be, maybe he flew ahead of his family to maybe set things up, which is fine too. It's very very honorable. And then the mother who was with the daughter who threw up 4 times, she was phenomenal. She didn't, it's a long flight from, we stopped in Spain and Italy. And from from Spain to the US, it's a pretty long flight, okay? It's more than 6 hours, right? I don't know, it's a pretty long flight. And during that flight, the mother was sleeping a few times, taking naps to rest. And I think during 2 of her naps, the daughter did throw up twice in each one. Not twice in each one, but once each time. And the mother, she got right up. She was just leaning back like this, but she got right up. She said she wasn't yelling. She said, "You okay? Here's a plastic bag. Hey, are you okay?" She rubbed her back. She said, "Okay, let's go to the restroom, get you cleaned up." It was phenomenal. I saw her and I thought, wow, you are a phenomenal, and my mother was like that too, so I can recognize it. And even in that same flight, here's a little negative, but it ties into the positive thing. There were other families who had younger children, because I think the daughter was maybe somewhere in elementary school. It was the older daughter who happened to have the airplane sickness, and the younger daughter probably was still in elementary school too, maybe 2-3 years separated. And there was another family or two that had a baby, an infant, and when the infant had to get its diaper cleaned, they waited 50 minutes before and it wasn't as if the bathroom was not occupied, because it was. I went to the restroom and no one was waiting, and they waited 50 minutes to finally get up and then reach up and get diapers and then go to the restroom. But by then the cabin stunk. It stank, okay? But that other mother who took care of her barfing daughter, she was extraordinary. If she deserves, I think, a medal. Those kinds of mothers who wake up from a nap, traveling. Well, I know how, because I saw her. She got in the same spot that I did, traveling for hours and hours, pretty much a day at that point, and then still have to go another 12 hours, 36 hours of traveling. with no real rest, constantly moving, thinking, making sure you have the right paperwork, you have your passport out, you have your 2 children with you, and at that age, children run around like crazy, so you have to make sure that it's at that age, you might as well just put a leash on them to keep them close. But it was phenomenal. So, yeah, my theory is when you travel and go to airports or get on airplanes, the best and the worst of people come out. And I saw the best and the worst. And it's unfortunate that I had to deal with the K, but I also got to see the amazing mother. And at that time, I was crocheting, and she saw me crocheting, and I think she wanted to say something, but she was just too busy with making sure her daughter was alright. And I thought, maybe I should just give her a doily, because, she works hard, and if she wants one, it's fine. For that kind of person, I think they deserve it. But I would never give it to the K, okay? Never. What kind of excuse is, my dog is whining? I can hear my dog whining. I think those kinds of people either have come from a family where they always get whatever they want. I'm not going to say a certain word because I think it's used nowadays too politically, but it's almost as if they come from a family with a lot of affluence, and that affluence allows them to do certain things that most families would not, or they are like that lady married her husband, and maybe her husband, well, I can't really give too many details, but let's just say that the person she married has a lot of brass, and because of that she and he have been able to basically get whatever they want. And when they're put into an environment where everything is equal, you have to wait your turn, they think they can push their way ahead of everyone else. It's kind of like, that's my general assumption or supposition, and it's unfortunate, but yeah, at least I'm done traveling, and it's been a month or two since I've said it, and all the household stuff came. I still have to sort things out and organize it to make it actually livable. And I actually had a yard sale at my house the other day, or maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't know. And I donated a lot of stuff, so I got rid of a few of my bags. I thought about showing you guys first before I did, but then I thought it wouldn't make sense to show you guys and then get rid of it, so anyways, how long is this video? 23 minutes, oh my goodness. Okay, so I've been talking ages. So, anyways, travel woes, and I really like the new doily. That wasn't the one I was working on while on the airplane. I have to go find the one that I was working on. It wasn't even a doily. So I'll find a project I was working on while traveling, and I'll showcase that in the next video. But for now, just, what do we want to learn from today? How about when you travel, you should expect many things. Oh, and travel light, by the way. If you're going to travel somewhere, travel light. Really consider what it is that you need and don't need. Some things, like clothes, I like to be dressed nicely to my standard whenever I travel places, but it's not always going to be like that. Sometimes you have to wear pants for a week, and that's unfortunate, and it might be uncomfortable, but that's just the way it is, okay? Travel light. You will appreciate it, okay? And it turns out people are not going to care if you wear the same pants for 4 or 5 days. If you have a decent pair of good jeans that are, say, like a dark color, so even if things like dust gets on it, you can just shake it out and the dust will come off. Or if you spill some sauce on it, if it's dark enough, it will be barely visible. So just travel light. That's a good lesson. I didn't really follow that rule this time, and luckily I was okay, but there were a few times where it was cutting it close. So if you travel light. Besides, if you go there with a light suitcase, you can put souvenirs in wherever you go, and then come back with souvenirs, and you'll be fine. I mean, I don't like traveling, so I don't know if I'll travel again, but and anyways, I'll talk more about traveling next time. But that's what I wanted to say, and yeah, I'm settling in nicely to my new town. But hopefully, I don't have to deal with the K again. Okay? Blood pressure. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.